Hot, and it's about to get even hotter. Look at this on the temperature history. Temperatures on Tuesday of last week, 98 degrees, cracking 100 on Wednesday at 101, Thursday 102, Friday one more to that tally, 103. Ditto that for Saturday, and then here we go. Sunday was today, the hottest of them all, 107. That was the reading at Meadows Field, and that makes for heat wave number 3 territory beginning last week and continuing on into this weekend. And the question is, will it become a heat wave into this new week as well? Well, the almanac says that our high was too shy of the record for the date of 109 back in 1913. This is officially the hottest of the year so far. Starting off at 76, average 72, record low 53 set back in 1912. Let's take a look at what's happening by the numbers. So days of 100 degrees plus since May. Now we're up to 23, 105 and above. We had 2 at 105. Then today came in with number 3, one more above that score. And then days of 80-degree lows, 0. So far, heat wave tally, 3. That is where we are currently. The sky is clear over Kern County, and the high is positioned over the Colorado River, meaning the monsoon flow is deflected again to our south and east into Mexico, and barely any for AZ and New Mexico too. But the red flag warnings to our north, the extreme heat warnings into parts of our area, and the orange means a heated advisory for the rest of us, including this time the Central Valley, the South Valley, the mountains, and even the KRV. Look at that. We've got temperatures that have been high, and they will be continuously into Monday, which is tomorrow night. That is when this thing will set to expire. Temperatures up to 112 possible for the desert. Moderate, major to extreme heat risk out for that area. Mojave, Ridgecrest, Cal City, Rosemont, and Edwards, you are in that. However, almost everybody else is under a heat advisory, and that includes the South Valley, where temperatures may peak up to 108. Now, the good news is in the mountains, nowhere near that reading, but still moderate to major heat risk. The highs climbing into the 90s for the mountains. We saw that today in Fraser Park and Tehachapi, and the KRV bumped up into 100-degree territory, and that was a hot day indeed. So, the high is over the Colorado River. That is where it's been, and under that high, all that air is sinking. What that does is it clears out the atmosphere. The clouds don't go there, and the sun continues to shine and shine and shine away, keeping all that moisture at bay to the south and east of us. The good news is it's a dry heat, so at least it doesn't feel as hot as the temperatures otherwise would suggest. By Tuesday, that high may start to merge into our area again. So continuing that downward sinking motion, clearing skies, and heat, which is what happens when you compress a tire continuously. You add more air into it, and it starts to raise the temperatures out there. So that high pressure, that ridge is what we call this thing, clockwise flow. Look at what happens, though. The green over Arizona and Mexico, that's the monsoon moisture. The fact that this high is overhead, it prevents that from coming in anywhere near our neck of the woods. However, by mid to late week, the high may start to move northward. If that occurs, the monsoon door may start to crack open into Arizona at first. Who knows if parts of SoCal will get into the mix? Maybe the deserts by Thursday of this week. By Friday into Saturday, the high starts to move into Utah, and that may crack open the door a little bit further into the monsoonal impact for parts of Southern California. However, it's not the most favorable setup, at least not yet for us, but that could change. We're now into August, and so that is going to be the time to watch. Let's take a look at the next 10 days over the South Valley, and they are hot and basically hard to change at all in this forecast. Maybe by the 8, 9, or day 10 from now, things may be different, but until that occurs, look at that forecast. It's called the plateau. For the mountains, too, into the 90s you go. For Tehachapi and possibly Fraser Park as well, overnight lows in the 60s will be mild, but cooler than today. KRV, another hot one on Monday, and most of this week through with a lot of sunny skies. Temperatures maybe at 100 or more, but guess what? The sizzle still stays over the deserts, where Ridgecrest will peak at above 110 or so, maybe even up to 111. So it's going to be hot, stay hydrated, and guess what? Always play it safe.